Hi everyone and welcome back. So it has been a very long time since I sat down and filmed a video, so it feels nice to be in front of the camera again and doing a nice little chit chat video. I'm playing around with settings at the moment, so today I'm in my living room and just kind of seeing how that goes. I don't know if I like it though. I've got my garden there and my mum's out in the garden, so every now and again you might see her just wander past. So today is going to be the first video of a series I'm working on called #CreativeHeart. And this series is going to be for people with basically a creative heart, so people that love being creative, and it's all going to be focused around photography and video making. This was inspired by a YouTuber called Sara Dietschy. She does a YouTube series called That Creative Life. I will leave a link below, and she basically shares videos of like her tips for creating content and like interviews with people in the creative industry, and I just find it really inspiring to watch. If you don't know, I am a social media manager, so I am creating content full-time every day, and I know that working in the social media industry is something that people are really interested in, so I thought it would be a nice idea to start a series and talk about the things that I've learned and how to kind of improve on your content that you're creating for online, whether it's for your own personal brand or whether it's for clients. So today I'm going to be talking about investments that you can make for great content. So the 4 themes I'm going to cover is number 1, technology, 2, accessories, 3, software, and 4, home studio. So if there's one particular topic that you're interested in, then just have a look in the description. You can see at what time in the video that I start talking about that topic. So the first one I'm going to talk about is technology. The first investment that I probably made was my MacBook, and honestly I don't know what I would do without it now. I don't even know how I did anything without it really. So I have a MacBook Pro, and this was £1,000, and this was the cheapest one that they did. I have to say that just from experience, I think Apple technology is the best investment you can make. Also, whenever I get stuck or have any questions on how to use any software or anything on my MacBook, I just either go into an Apple store or call them up, and they're so good. They're just so willing to help you, and every time I've walked away I've always been so happy, and they've been able to help me with whatever situation it was. So I do really recommend getting a MacBook or a big iMac. And then obviously the MacBooks come with iMovie, which is free video editing software, which I was using for a very long time, but I will get into software later. So yeah, MacBook is the first investment that I would make. The next investment would be a camera. Now I know a lot of people use iPhones and they are great considering that they're a phone, but obviously when it comes to creating really professional content, I personally believe that you probably do need a proper SLR camera. So I have the Canon EOS 750D, and I'm currently filming on it now, so I'll put a picture here. And this camera was, I think, about £700, but after the MacBook it has been the best investment I've made. I film on this camera, I take pictures on this camera, so it's amazing for everything, and you can just change the lenses. You can invest in different lenses and swap them over, and lens filters. So yeah, it's a really great camera to invest in. Also, if YouTube is your thing, then a big camera is great for when you're sitting down, but obviously if you want to do some vlogging, then I would recommend getting a little vlogging camera. I have actually vlogged with my big Canon camera, and I do actually quite like doing it, but in terms of walking around with a massive camera, I guess it can be a little annoying at times. So about 8 months ago I invested in a vlogging camera. I'll leave all the details for the camera that I have here because there's quite a lot to cover, and it's got a little flippy screen, so it's great for when you're vlogging like that. So it's high definition, so it's still great quality, and as you can see it's a lot smaller than an SLR, so it's really great for vlogging. So technology wise, that was the 2 things that I would recommend. And then the next category I'm gonna go into is accessories, so tech accessories. So the first one is an external hard drive. I honestly don't even know how I lived without an external hard drive before I got one. If you're creating content all the time, then your MacBook is going to run out of space, and you're going to end up going crazy like I was, until I discovered that you can actually plug in an external hard drive. I was like, oh my god, this has solved all my problems, because I just had so much footage and nowhere to store it basically. So this is my external hard drive. It's a Porsche design one. I can't even remember how big it is, but it's got a crazy amount of storage on this I can't remember how much storage is on there, but I'll find out and I'll put it in the description box. The next investment I would make is for a tripod. I'm using my main one right now, but I'll put a picture here. And obviously this is just great for when you just want to film and there's no one to help you. And then for vlogging and things like that, or just generally just having a smaller tripod to carry around with you, I have this smaller tripod. This one's great because you can really be quite creative with how you use it because it's so bendy. So you could literally use this and put the camera on there and then have this around a pole and things like that. So this is a really good one. So after those, I would then invest in a good microphone. And this basically just helps the sound just sound less tinny and just more professional. So I'm using my one at the moment, and again I'll put a picture here for you. But you can get tons of different microphones. This is the only one I have experience with. I just plug it into my Canon SLR and it does a really good job. So, but I know you can get tons of microphones depending on what you want to do, whether it's a voiceover, you can get proper like voiceover head microphones, or you can get these bigger ones and plug those in like I've done. You can get ones that sit here on you, like that you kind of attach to your top so that it's closer to your mouth. Really depends on what content you're creating, but yeah, so a microphone is a really good investment to make. 2 seconds whilst I wait for Leo to stop barking in the background. The next investment would be lighting. Now I personally have 2 soft boxes which I bought from Amazon. They were literally like £60 for the 2 of them. I've got one of them here right now. I've actually only got the one. I don't know why, I just kind of like the effect that it had on me today. Normally I use 2, so I have one on each side. And the other light that you can get is like a ring light. I have no experience with ring lights, but I think they're really good when you're doing like beauty like tutorials and things like that. But for me, soft boxes have kind of done the job for me. So the next thing would be lenses. Now I just use the same lens that came with my camera. It does the job for me, although you can get super like long ones and other ones that make the depth of field like super blurry, and I'm sure those would be amazing and they would be a really good investment depending on the content you're creating. But for me, this lens is absolutely fine just for kind of YouTube and stuff. It really depends on what you want to do and how you want your footage to look. As I do quite a lot of flat lay beauty photography, I did buy a little like lens filter, and it looks like that, and you literally just screw this onto the end of your lens, and it helps just to get really close in on the object basically. So this was a really good investment, and this was literally like £7 or something. So compared to a crazy like macro lens, this was definitely worth buying. So the next accessory, just really quickly, would be a camera bag. I know it kind of goes without saying, obviously it's a really good investment for protecting your camera, because if you break your camera, then you've got to go and buy another one, and that's a lot of money. So the third category I want to talk about is software, and I just have 2 recommendations, which you would have heard of already. So the first one is Final Cut Pro, which is a video editing software, and I bought this because I basically just wanted to step up my game on video editing. Before that I was using iMovie, which comes free with the MacBook. I definitely noticed a difference once I had invested in Final Cut. Just the quality of my editing and my videos were just so much more professional, and you could just do so much more. There's so many tutorials on YouTube, so it's really easy to get to know all the new effects and features that you can use. Final Cut is definitely an absolute like necessity for creating videos, and that software cost me £300, and I bought it directly from the Apple app store. And then the next piece of software is Photoshop. Obviously this is for people who do photography. It kind of goes without saying, like if you really want to create photographic content, then you must get Photoshop. The one that I bought from the App Store was £100, which isn't too bad. I'll write the version that I have here, and it does everything that I want it to do. I normally just like adjust the lighting, crop, I use a spot heal a lot. Airbrushing and things like that. I don't do anything like crazy creative. at the moment anyway. I'm still kind of learning with it, but yeah, Photoshop is definitely some software that I would recommend. And then the last category I'm going to talk about is a home studio, and again, this is for people who are interested in photography. So in my office I have a room in the house which is just basically my office, where I have my desk, and then a little home studio in the corner where I do all of my photography, mostly like flat lay stuff. So I will go more into detail about creating a home studio if that is something that you're interested in another video. If you don't want to hire out a studio, which can be expensive, then creating a home studio can be quite a good idea. And it's cheap as well, and it's really easy. All you really need to do is like get a table and some lighting and stuff and some backdrops, and you're good to go. So if that's something you want to know more about, just let me know in the comments and I'll do a video on that. So those are all the investments that I would recommend looking into if you are interested in upping your game in your content creation, in video making and photography. If you have any further questions, then please just leave me a comment below and I would be happy to advise as much as I can. And if there's anything else you want to know from this video series that I'm now working on, let me know as well. I'm hopefully going to be talking more about chasing your dreams and more specifics about creating content and how to work in social media, how to get a job in social media and things like that. So just let me know if there's anything you're interested in. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!